Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. Let's talk about one of the music industry's biggest current-day hitmakers, Lil Nas X, who just came out with his brand new song and music video for the track J Christ, which he has been teasing toward for quite a bit, with all of this insinuation that he's going Christian. Even at this level of light trolling, he was receiving a lot of backlash for these posts. People essentially saying that there's no possible way he could be gay and Christian at the same time. It's through these reactions it became very apparent what direction this whole thing was going to be headed in, because Montero, being the expert troll that he is, and I mean this guy is more seasoned internet-wise than many out there in the music industry are, he was clearly just dipping his toes a little bit into the controversy he would be deeply digging into later to sort of see if he was going to get the kind of reactions that he was hoping for. And that would be tears and cries of persecution from the most sensitive sects of the Christian world, who, to be fair, have had Lil Nas X in their sights for a minute now, really ever since the guy came out as gay. All of a sudden, he's a bad influence, and it's not okay for kids to listen to him, even though he's known for a cowboy rap song where he makes a mention of drinking lean. Look, what's clear is post Nas X's coming out and the release and album cycle that he had around Montero, he's feeling some type of way about the way that he's been ripped apart by more religious voices in the music and social media community. And look, all of that happened. All of it is documented. All of it is history. Some people, I'm sure, would like to forget it and ignore like it ever happened because it makes it easier to act like Lil Nas X is the one who fired first with this new song and music video, but it's not true. That goes doubly true for gay people in general who predate Christianity and ever asked to be codified in their or in anybody's holy book in a negative fashion. So Montero goes full Monty with the release of this new song and music video, J Christ, and to be honest, as far as like my assessment of the song goes, it's just kind of okay. Really, the worst thing about it, and it's not a very good quality, is that it is incredibly derivative of Kendrick Lamar's Humble in terms of instrumental, in terms of flow, in terms of overall vibe. I think some of the melodic choruses on the track, vary away from that quite nicely, but outside of that, it just kind of feels a little too close to that track for comfort, to the point where it's a bit of a ripoff, and like not even necessarily a flattering one at that. And maybe as far as the overall lyrical narrative of the track goes, it seems like a little too much engrossed in Lil Nas X's controversy or the perception of him and so on and so forth. Could be said he's buying a bit too much into the negativity surrounding him when at the end of the day, there's far more lovers of Lil Nas X than there are haters. And making songs in service of yourself, or at the very least, the people who support you, might be a more effective route than kind of focusing at least this much on the haters. But with that being said, I'm not going to begrudge the man a desire or two to kind of fire back a little bit, especially since with this new music video, it's kind of funny. I think the imagery is wild. It's out there. It's hilarious. It's creative. It is mimetic as well, of course. The whole portion of him fucking crossing up Satan on the basketball court is really something else. Maybe it's because I'm not really a Christian like that at the end of the day, but it's kind of hard to see what people have their panties in a bunch about with this track and the music video. I mean, obviously, it's a little cheeky. It's a tad bit irreverent, but is it the most blasphemous media out there that you could be consuming? Absolutely, positively no. This is not like, a late 90s, early 2000s Marilyn Manson concert. This is not some black metal band coughing up blood and burning upside down crosses. This isn't even some anarcho-atheist punk band pissing all over a Bible. It's a rapper portraying himself as Jesus, not even in an overtly negative or mocking mocking way. I mean, sure, there's an element of humor there, but it's not like his portrayal of the Messiah was that much nastier or ridiculous or more out there than that of many other rappers who for years have pretty much gotten a pass. Be that Kanye West on a magazine cover with blood on his face and the crown of thorns. And of course, Kendrick Lamar with his recent little, multi-million dollar crown of thorns, jewelry splurge, which is corny as hell, but was covered left and right across the music media. And I don't recall anybody like Kai Cenat getting his fucking panties in a bunch, going crazy, talking about how God's gonna take care of him and so on and so forth.
No! Fuck that! Yo, Lil Nas X, you could eat my whole dick. I hate that nigga, bro. God gonna handle that nigga. Real shit.
What did he do?
So of course I called this ridiculousness out on Twitter and people were not happy. And of course the reactions to what I was saying and what Lil Nas X was doing only further exemplified the hypocrisy and the preposterousness in terms of the reactions to the music video. You had this blind anger driven by these heightened persecution complexes that see the more bigoted bananas in this bunch throwing other Abrahamic religions under the bus. Oh, you'd never make fun of Islam like that. You'd never make fun of another religion like that. Insinuating the reason being that, other cultures and other religions are way more violent and irrational and less civilized than us Christians over here, who are going absolutely fucking psychotic over this music video. So yeah, I think the Islamic community does a lot more than just receive criticism on a regular basis. I think they, in fact, have bigger problems that they're currently facing than a music video. Meanwhile, these freaks all over Twitter have the luxury of getting angry and fed up about it because they have really nothing else going on in their day. It's weird. Growing up as a kid in the early and mid and late 90s, I was kind of happy to transition into an era where for at least a time, it seemed like culturally there was less of a toxic grip in terms of the Christian right having so much of a swing over what could and couldn't fly in popular culture. Because if you go back, you see organizations like the PMRC and the Crusades that were taken against, artists like Prince and Twisted Sister and so on and so forth, because their music was satanic and it was dark and it was too sexual and it was too this and it was too that. And I feel like we're moving into a similar era these days where just like the dumbest, simplest, silliest shit gets these same groups of people like totally in a tailspin. What's weird is the material that is being freaked out about for its time isn't even anywhere near as daring or as out there or as raunchy or as envelope pushing as a song like Little Red Corvette. And instead what it is now is a gay man crossing Satan up on the basketball court. I don't know, call me jaded, but that doesn't even seem as weird as like what Prince and hair metal bands were doing back in the 80s. But I suppose that does reinforce my point that I think a lot of this does come down to homophobia and to bigotry because lots of rappers have portrayed themselves again and again and again over the years as Jesus Christ. But the moment Lil Nas X does it, it's a problem. Whatever. Those are my thoughts on it. What are yours? Let me know. Over here next to my head is another video you can check out, and we will see you in the next one. Anthony Fantano, Lil Nas X, forever.